Hi there, baby nurses. Thank you so much for joining me once again as we are going to be discussing nutrition. So what is nutrition? How best can you understand the word nutrients, right? I know you all have notes and you've looked up, you've read your notes, and I'm just going to give you a very easy going definition that makes everything so precise and understandable and easy to remember. So I like to define a nutrient as a substance that a baby needs to live and grow. As we all know that our job as caregivers, as baby nurses, we are hired to make sure that this baby lives, this baby thrives, this baby survives in this life that we call a jungle. Your job is to help by any means necessary to help this baby to thrive no matter what. So nutrition is also one of them. We know we spoke about resilience. We need to nourish this baby and provide all the care they need so that they can grow physically and also emotionally, and also that they can be able to develop in terms of neurogenesis. We spoke about neurogenesis and the terms about the hippocampus, how the baby's memory develops. And we now know that food, a balanced diet, helps as well in building a baby's hippocampus, the baby's emotions, and also memory, building their memory, and also helping them with all their cognitive developments. So we don't have to come up with excuses of not being able to provide for the baby, because the first few months, which is the first 6 months, the baby is going to be breastfed. Okay, I do understand that some babies are not going to be exclusively breastfed, but we all know the benefits of breast milk, and we looked at our notes and we know why some parents prefer breastfeeding for the first 6 months without anything else being given to their babies, and that is some parents' choices. And we cannot deny that some parents prefer formula feeding for personal reasons, and we should also respect that. But we need to be very careful when handling the baby's formula, when we are handling the baby's food, not just formula, the baby's food, in terms of hand washing, personal hygiene, and also making sure that that water we are using, how clean is it? Has it been boiled first, in order to make sure that all the bacteria or anything, any traces of bacteria that could still be living within this water has been destroyed, to avoid the baby from getting sick. So there is a lot of things that we need to look out for in terms of is the baby's equipment clean, the cups for the baby, the cup that we use, the bottles that we use, are they clean? Have they been sanitized? All of that. And usually parents come up with a plan for you to follow, and you must never cut corners. You must never look down upon it. You must always as a carer learn to be perfect in everything that you're doing, because whatever it is you are doing it to save a life. So we mustn't think that, when the babies are now being introduced to food, I will cut down on the milk, I'll cut down on the feeding times for formula. You still need to continue formula feeding the baby, because if when it comes to breastfeeding, it is very advantageous, because it has all the most of the benefits. It's the right temperature, no bacteria, and all the nutrients. Nothing is going to be killed along the way from the breast, the mother's breast, to the baby's mouth. The baby is going to benefit from all of them without losing or missing anything. So that is why we need to be careful when it comes to formula feeding as well, so that we don't lose any of the nutrients along the way, right? So we also need to know that after introducing the baby to meals, It mustn't be just random meals. Just introducing food to the baby because they're starting to eat. We need to look at how exactly are we going to balance the meal so that the baby is going to have a balanced diet. What exactly do I mean by a balanced diet? As carers, you also know already that for you to be strong, to be healthy, to be fit, to be aware, to be alert, to have all the strength that you have right now, you need to have a balanced diet. For you not to have any disturbances when it comes to looking after the baby, when it comes to doing all your chores during the day, you really need to have a balanced diet so that you don't suffer from any kind of sicknesses and not lose focus and all of that. It's the same thing when it comes to a baby, and it is even more when it comes to babies, because they still need to develop, their brains need to develop, they're still developing in terms of neurogenesis. They still have to develop those a lot of synapses. We spoke about these in our previous lesson, where we spoke about the hippocampus, that part of the brain that helps the baby to remember. So how exactly is the baby going to remember things, to be able to walk, to be able to develop, if the baby is not receiving a proper diet? It is going to be very difficult. It is going to be very, very difficult. So as a carer, it is your job to know that when you are preparing a meal for a baby, it needs to be balanced. What do I mean by being balanced? It means that it needs to have 6 essential nutrients. And what are these 6 essential nutrients? I'm so glad because you have the notes, you've read it already, but I'm just gonna highlight them so that you don't forget them. So on the top there we have proteins. Okay, proteins, you on your notes you also read and you know what are the benefits of proteins. And we also have carbohydrates, we have fats, we also have vitamins to help the baby, to help boost the baby's immune system, and we also have minerals. And we do know that the lack of iron in babies, or iron deficiencies in babies, how does it affect babies? So I will encourage you, if you have forgotten, I'll just really encourage you to go back on your notes so that you remember. But it has something to do with the memory, right? It has something to do with the development of babies' memories. So and water. So I think I've listed all 6 now, and if you look on your notes, you will see where we get proteins from. So mainly our proteins, you get the proteins maybe from meat, from beans, and we also get carbohydrates from starch, like potatoes. And those who are in Africa, you can get our carbohydrates from pap, or some people call it thick porridge. And what else? Okay, the vitamins, we get vitamins from our vegetables and fruits. And also water is just straightforward. The fats as well, they need healthy fats. We need to also look at allergies. So when we introduce food to the babies, we need to be very careful. It can be very overwhelming to give the baby so many things at the same time, because tomorrow, if the baby falls sick, it is going to be very difficult for you to be able to pick from where exactly this disease or this issue is arising from. So because of allergies, we need to be very careful, because allergies can be very dangerous. I know we tend to look down upon it, but allergies can be very dangerous, especially to children. It can be deadly. So we also need to speak to parents when we are introducing the food to babies, and they are going to give us a guideline as well, how they want things to be done, how they want you to carry out this process in a way that they really, really feel comfortable with. So it's mainly going to be maybe introducing one type of food per week to make things easier. After you see that there is no reaction and nothing is happening to the baby, then you move on to the next one. And it's so easy for you to pick up if there is anything that is happening to the baby. Then you can stop giving that type of a food to the baby and seek for medical help and see exactly what is the next step, and stop immediately feeding that baby because that kind of a food, because now you know that whatever problem has a reason, it is coming from that type of a food. It could have been maybe you've introduced the baby to nuts, and then you can easily pick it that, oh, okay, the baby is allergic to nuts. And how do you see these signs and symptoms? There's a lot that you can actually pick up. The most easy ones you can see, maybe it could be rashes on the face or the baby's skin, and it could be hives, and sometimes it could be wheezing, difficulty in breathing. But I'm going to categorize those easily for you so that you can be able to know or see, like, where is this problem coming from. So let's talk about the common triggers. What could be the common triggers of allergies? I'm going to look at my note cards here so that I won't leave anything that is very important. So the common triggers are nuts, as I said. It's milk, it's eggs, it's also soya, soya or soya milk or soya beans. All those, they are the most common triggers that we know. And the symptoms, as I mentioned, it could be hives, it could be swelling, rashes, trouble in breathing, or it could be sudden drop in blood pressure as well, loss of consciousness. It can be that bad, really. It really can be that bad. So when it gets that bad, you need to also be able to be in a position where you are also able to administer epinephrine and also seek medical advice. So you will discuss this with the family, and you will be, by then you will know, like, how are you going to administer epinephrine, and the family would have everything in the first aid kit. That's why we need to be very wise and know that we have all our supplies. We don't have to run out of anything, and we need to replace everything from our medical kit so that we know that in case of any emergencies, we do have everything that we need. So okay, that's basically it on the symptoms of allergies. And also, we also spoke about administering of epinephrine. On your notes there, you're going to learn, like, how can you do it? How do you do it as a caregiver? And I'm so glad that we will touch base with that as well. So I want to tell you that the allergies, they also come in 3 categories, as I told you. They could be respiratory, they could be also show on the skin, or they could be gastrointestinal. So when if they are respiratory, you will know that they are being caused by dust mites, right? Could be dust mites, could be pollen, and it could be seasonal. You will know that, oh, it is the season of flowers blooming, so the baby is allergic to a certain type of flower, the pollen of a certain flower. Or it could be that the baby's bed, or wherever the house is located or situated, there could be a problem of dust. It's a dusty area, and you really need to make sure that the hygiene there is up. You really up your game in terms of hygiene, in terms of making sure that the baby's linen, the baby's clothes, by any means necessary, you have to make sure that there is no dust mites on the baby's clothes, on the baby's toys, on the couches, wherever the baby is going to be lying, because the baby is going to eventually get sick if they have any respiratory issues with them. So, and then like I told you, the symptoms will be coughing, sneezing, wheezing, and also chest tightness. It will be so easy for you to pick that up as a caregiver. And let us look at rashes, hives, swelling of the body. That is definitely related to skin allergies. It will be so easy for you to track, to see as well. When it comes to gastrointestinal, you will notice the baby developing diarrhea, it could be vomiting, and it can be that as bad as having poor weight gain. It can be abdominal pains as well. So basically, this is what I wanted you to have on nutrition. So I encourage you to look around or look on your notes and dig around for more information, because I always encourage you to research, because when you research, it helps you as well. My explanations may not be quite easier to grasp, and then sometimes when you're researching, you might find easier explanations, and it will be so easy for all this information to stick into your brain. Remember, this job, we are doing it with all the love, with all the passion, and we need to be present, we need to be aware, we need to be there for the kids in order for them to grow, in order for them to develop in a very healthy way. And nutrients, a healthy balanced diet is going to help the baby to develop in a way that we really want, if we really love these babies to grow and thrive in this world. Thank you so much for staying this long with me here. And this lesson was delivered to you by a woman who wears a lot of hats, but I will definitely mention just a few. I'm a mom of 2 amazing boys, and I have a diploma in nursing. I love babies. And also, I'm a life coach for women. I also help parents in figuring out how best are they going to play a role in parenting, and also what else do they need in terms of having the perfect match of a helper who is going to help them and walk through them as soon as they receive a baby. It could be just before the baby has been born. If a parent needs a doula, we assist with that as well.